Tell me your perspective of working with Bruce. I mean,
Tell him the truth, Don.
is there a horror story?
Tell him the
possible
horror.
to do
Are there
That's right. He's
lots of
impossible.
gag reels involved here? Are there-
He's a rat bastard.
No, it was a.
Some movies have more gag reels than others. You know what I mean? This wasn't so much of a gag reel.
No. We got the gag reel into the film. You know.
Yeah,
We got the, we're working with bedpans and walkers.
That's
and,
right.
There's
plenty of gags in the movie.
No, it was really a pleasure working with Bruce.
That's always a setup, though. That's an unfair question. As a journalist, shame on you.
I'm new to the game. I'll blame
That's
it on
right.
that. That's it. Was there a lot of improvisation, or was it a lot of just here's a script and it just works well as it is?
Well, the script was solid, and that was our Bible. We followed it all the way through. But there's no question that this kind of a story lent itself to the occasional.
Although it wasn't
reinterpretation.
an ad lib fest like some projects can be, either out of necessity or out of the atmosphere on the set. It's not like an Austin Powers situation where I have a hunch they just kept the cameras rolling until Mike Myers stopped talking.
Yeah, no.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Until he fell over.
No.
So in this case, it was a little more goal oriented.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is fine. What I have to say is, I think it's an easier situation to be in, rather than if you really have to make up crap every day. Sometimes it's not always going to work, and you're not always going to be able to come up with those zingers. Presumably, a writer has actually sat down, Joe and then Don adapted it to go, let me think about this, and why second guess the writer unless you've thought about it too? It's actually not fair to go, this script sucks. It's like, well, why don't you, think about it and come up with something, idiot.
Well, which is what Bruce does. He's downplaying his contribution. But if you can, I hope you're able to hear me all the way over here. With that
Sure.
Is the Bruce really was working on the script, and he came up with 2 or 3 of the really killer lines in the movie, which made me want to ask you. I probably shouldn't do it on camera.
Let me guess.
But I'm just curious if did you have a lot of input in those Evil Dead movies in terms of the killer memorable?
Yeah, I
lines?
had a couple, but again, it was more Sam Raimi and his brother Ivan. They loved coming up with those.
Oh, okay.
And they knew that. I think they would pick stuff that suited. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes they'd come up with a line that was just too long.
Yeah.
That you actually couldn't say, and Sam would go, all right, forget it. Just say this. Shut up, you old man, or whatever. He would just spitball some stuff on the day. But again, that situation was different too. This was, you had to keep. A movie like Bubba Hotep could have easily gotten away from itself.
Oh, there's no question.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because you go, well, how much Mummy do you want? Or how much of this JFK paranoia do you get? Or how much is Elvis going to lament about cancer on his penis?
Yeah.
It all had to keep moving forward. We couldn't get sidetracked into any one thing. And you need a script to guide you. If you don't, man, this movie could have blown chunks. You may or may not like it, but it'd be a hell of a lot
worse. No
worse.
question. Intolerable.
Yeah.
How appropriate is it that you have like Hail to the King, and then you come back here and King of Rock and Roll, and you got that? I'm sorry, I've forgotten the line, but the line right after you're fighting the bug. Don't mess with the king, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's not quite mess with the king, but we get the general idea.
But I mean.
Serendipity things just happen,
We were talking. They were completely different kings. I mean, when you're talking about the king of the.
That's right.
The proto.
I have played the King of Thieves though as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's a lot of royalty.
There's a lot of kings here.
I don't know. Yeah.
Did you? Who came up with the line for Bubba Hotep?
Oh, it wasn't me.
It was in the script.
Yeah, that was in the
Yeah.
script. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So
a lot of it was scripted. I think people have sometimes a false impression of how much gets made up. It all depends on the project.
But the
Everyone's
thing is that I have to take credit for that particular line, but that was in reference to Elvis.
Right.
But thinking about it, being a Bruce geek myself, I think when I was working on that, I was probably thinking about, Bruce in the role, and that's where that line, could have had some kind of influence. You never know.
Everything's a hodgepodge, all the combinations of people and ideas and writers and directors and actors always equals something that no one ever thought you'd get. This movie's different from what you probably imagined in your head.
It always is.
Not even that it was better or worse, but certainly different.
Yeah.
It's different from what I thought it would be, but it's still similar to the script.
Yeah.
The cool thing about Joe Lansdale's basic idea is that, you know, we all felt that it functioned pretty well, yet it's a totally bizarre script.
Right.
So,
Do you guys feel like, I mean, to me, and I guess from what I've read of other reviews, it seems almost obvious. Like this seems like a
Well, it
really
seems
great
like
opportunity.
it'd be ripe to do, you know,
Yeah.
Elvis battling other types of mummies. Not mummies. Well, we did in the Mummy, but other kinds
there's
of
plenty of other creatures out
yeah.
there. Because the thing that we were talking about that is kind of funny that Elvis was into a lot of that weird crap.
Yeah.
You know, the voodoo and the mojo and the Native American stuff, and just, you know, who knows? Elvis just may roam the world fighting evil.
Well, I think the other amazing thing is, in a way, because you guys include so much of that, it almost seems like this is a biography. It's a strange kind of take on the idea.
Well, we were very
Fictional
careful
biography.
to follow. You know, we tried to make this legitimate for Elvis fans, so they wouldn't dismiss it.
Oh yeah, I don't think an Elvis fan would be pissed off. I think they'd cry. And if you were a real
hope so.
hardcore Graceland Memphis fan, you're gonna cry your ass
Yeah.
off at this movie. Are you kidding?
Because it's Elvis.
You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll wonder why.
Yeah, it's Elvis's last chance of redemption is Bubba Hotep.
Now, I guess to ask you this, because he refused to kind of answer this, but do you think this is Bruce's best role yet? Tommy, what do you think?
Sarah refused.
Yeah, well, you,
I said
you
it's not
have
for me,
to. I
it's
mean, he
Sarah.
has a body of work. You know, he can't. You know, they're like his children. He,
You can't pick one child over the
Yeah,
other.
exactly. But all I can say is that, you know, unlike some of my other movies, you know, I sat in the editing room for almost a year looking at this performance, and I
Looking at
never
the
get
bastard.
I never get tired of it.
Yeah.
I can watch it all day long, and when I sit with him and he kicks into the Elvis thing, I dig it. So.
That's wrong, Mom.
Are you going to tour as Elvis now? Is this your next career?
I'm gonna tour with my makeup person. Yeah. I don't know. Who knows? You never know what's gonna happen. Never say never.
Well, and it's hard to compare this character to Ash, too, because, I mean, how can anyone really say Ash is not better than Elvis or vice versa?
They exist in different worlds.
They do. Good
They
point.
certainly do. All right. Any final questions? Because I would like to get some, or answer. Anything else you'd like to say?
Were you at that screening yesterday?
I was,
How
yeah.
did it go? Okay.
Sorry.
Did people seem to like it?
I would say everyone was very impressed. I mean,
Okay,
I
okay.
heard more laughing at every line than.
That's
you
nice
can
to hear.
imagine.
Well,
Okay.
tonight should be fun because it's a packed house. So, you know what's cool is it's, you know, I've done a lot of stuff that only goes either straight to television or straight to video, and it's really cool to get back the experience of making a film, putting it in the theater, and having people watch it. And I make that sound like it's such a strange thing, but it is. It's happening less and less.
Yeah.
And to be involved in a movie that is going to show in front of 900 people,
Yeah.
I think is really exciting. It's cool.
Yes.
And it brings back what movies are all about. It'll be a nice big ass screen, and the movie will get its best opportunity. You know, it'll be everyone who's there at midnight wants to be there. No one's being forced into this movie, and I think it'll just make for a fun viewing. And I think once you get more people in there too, you can start experiencing more reaction.
Yeah, I
you know?
think so. Yeah, it's the way that we can get our feedback after sort of working in a vacuum for all this.
Oh
time.
yeah, it's weird. You do. You
Yeah.
totally work in a vacuum, and
Of course,
now
it's too late to make any changes.
Yeah, now we're screwed. Yeah, it sucks. Forget it.
Well, actually, how does it feel being at the festival? Because it is, I mean, some people consider it the second most important one in the world, and next to Cannes. And do you guys care?
Well, we're
Is the
honored.
audience more important than the?
Oh, we care a
venue?
lot. No, this is a combination of both elements. This is a happy marriage of a festival that actually doesn't mind public involvement,
Right.
and yet it's a well-known festival. So it's good for us in that buyers and distributors come to this place because it's a place of business.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the people who are buying these movies can sit right next to a slathering geek, you know, who's going, "Oh, say groovy," you know, and they can just sit there and see that this is a good idea.
Right. Okay.
Call me
So
crazy.
you may have to just say groovy then.
Just like groovy, baby.
Just,
Hey, look at it.
It's the new version
Ash
of Groovy.
via Elvis. See,
That's
there
right.
we go.
That's a groovy, baby.